Welcome to the first lesson of the Business English module called Getting to Know You. It is advisable to do the lessons from this module on computers. If you do them on smartphones or other small portable devices, you can just zoom in so as to see all text and exercises properly. In this lesson, we will focus on the key vocabulary about personal presentation, greetings, and saying goodbye. You'll read other people's presentations and will write your own. You will also learn when to use the present simple tense and how to do it, in positive and negative sentences and in questions. In the end, you will receive some helpful tips on entrepreneurship relevant skills. We hope this will be a good start for your future entrepreneurship initiatives. Now, let's start with the brief introductions of young entrepreneurs from different countries. Read the following text to learn about them. If necessary, pause the video. Be careful when reading the text. Try to remember who is who and how each person is described. You'll need this information for the exercises later on. Now, let's see some basic vocabulary describing personal qualities. To be friendly means to be kind, encouraging and affectionate to others. You are open-minded when you easily accept new ideas and arguments. To be reliable means to be trusted, accurate and honest. To be punctual is to be strict and to do things on time. You are bossy when you are overly authoritative and try to dominate. To be pushy means to be self-assertive and determined to get on. Now, it is time to exercise. Enter the missing words in the text. In red are all words missing from the text, but in random order. Put them in the correct places. If necessary, pause the video. You can see the correct answers back on slide number 3. So, when do we use the present simple tense? We use it to talk about things in general. In these cases, we are not thinking only about the present. We also use it to say that something happens all the time or repeatedly, or that something is true in general. It is not important whether the action is happening at the moment of speaking. Now, let's see how to use the present simple tense in positive and negative statements and in questions. Let's take the basic verb to be. In blue, you see the positive form of the verb. In green is how we do the negative forms. And in red is the way we ask questions. Be careful about the inversion of the verb and the subject or pronoun when asking questions in English. The verb always goes before subject or pronoun. This is a common mistake, so be careful. Now, let's move to the next part, listening. Listen to the conversation Anna, Mehmet, Elsa, Luca and Ricardo have with their new friends from Sweden, Greece and Cyprus. Note how they introduce and greet each other.
Hello, I'm Anna from Bulgaria.
Hello, I am Konstantinos from Greece. Nice to meet you, Anna.
Konstantinos, may I present you Mehmet? He is from Turkey.
Hello, Mehmet. Very nice to meet you. How are you?
I am fine, thank you, Konstantinos. How are you? Anna, let me introduce you to Anika from Sweden and Eleni from Cyprus.
Hello, it's my pleasure meeting you all here. Do you know Elsa from Germany, Luca from Italy and Ricardo from Spain?
So, listen again to the conversation Anna, Mehmet, Elsa, Luca and Ricardo have with their new friends from Sweden, Greece and Cyprus. Then, complete the following sentences. You can see the text on slide number 11 and check your answers.
Hello, I'm Anna from Bulgaria.
Hello, I am Konstantinos from Greece. Nice to meet you, Anna.
Konstantinos, may I present you Mehmet? He is from Turkey.
Hello, Mehmet. Very nice to meet you. How are you?
I am fine, thank you, Konstantinos. How are you? Anna, let me introduce you to Anika from Sweden and Eleni from Cyprus.
Hello, it's my pleasure meeting you all here. Do you know Elsa from Germany, Luca from Italy and Ricardo from Spain?
Let's see what phrases Anna and her friends used in their conversation. Try to learn them, as they will be very helpful to you in real-life situations. When you are at more formal meetings and atmosphere, it is better to use good morning, good afternoon, good evening, while in non-formal occasions you can just say hello or hi. Don't forget to say, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Keep in mind that actually this is not a real question to reply, but a phrase of politeness. So, Here, you can see the greetings conversation between Anna and her friends. And check your answers from the exercise, of course. Now, it is time to finish the meeting and say goodbye. Listen to the conversation Anna has with her friends at the end of the meeting. Note how she thanks and says goodbye to them.
Thank you all for the good work and the interesting ideas. I hope to see you soon again. Goodbye and have a nice day.
Goodbye, Anna. Have a nice day too.
Bye Anna, until soon.
Now, listen to the dialogue again and put the right words in the gaps. You can see the text and the right answers on the next slide.
Thank you all for the good work and the interesting ideas. I hope to see you soon again. Goodbye and have a nice day.
Goodbye, Anna. Have a nice day too.
Bye Anna, until soon.
Here, you can see the dialogue between Anna and her friends for goodbye and check your answers from the exercise. Here again, you can see some useful vocabulary about saying goodbye. Note that some of the phrases are used in more formal occasions, while others in informal. Try to memorize the phrases as they will be very helpful in real-life situations. Now, we move to the writing part, where you will practice how to write your own bio or personal introduction. In the reading part, you read the short bios or personal introductions of 5 people: Anna, Mehmet, Elsa, Lucia, and Ricardo. If necessary, go back to that part to recall their presentations. Now it is your turn. The questions on the slide will guide you through the process. When you write your personal introduction, think about what you want the other people to know about you, what information about you will be important to know, what interests or personal qualities will be interesting for them to know, so as to make friendships or start working together. We wish you good luck. In the last part of the lesson, we'd like to share with you some helpful tips on entrepreneurship relevant skills. Let's start with some countries and nationalities. It is important to easily introduce yourself and understand where the other people come from. Be careful with the Great Britain, also known as the United Kingdom or the UK. It consists of England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, and people coming from these parts call themselves as English, Scots, Irish, and Welsh. As it is difficult to guess from which part of the country the person in front of you comes, it is safer to call him or her as British instead of English, because he or she might be from Scotland, for example, and be a little bit offended. Here you will see some common professions. Of course, there are much more. However, the list is a good starting point to think where you could set up your entrepreneurship idea. Note that titles of the professions are usually gender neutral in English. However, be careful about businessman or businesswoman and chairman or chairwoman. To avoid confusion, it is better to just call them as businessperson and chairperson. So, we came to the end of this lesson. Now you know the key vocabulary about personal presentation, greetings, and saying goodbye. You should also know how to use the present simple tense in positive and negative sentences and in questions. You have practiced writing your short bio or personal introduction and have improved your vocabulary about countries, nationalities, and professions. We wish you good luck, and we are looking forward to seeing you at the next lesson.